Everyone knows the tale of a mermaid who gave up her voice for love, but few know what happened after she reached the shore. This is the dark tale of the girl beneath the sea. Far beneath the waves lived a young mermaid named Soraya. Unlike the others of her kind, she was fascinated by humans. She collected treasures from shipwrecks, listened to stories carried by sailors, and often dreamed of walking upon the shore. The surface world felt magical, beautiful, and completely beyond her reach. Until one stormy night, everything changed. A royal ship was caught in a violent storm. Massive waves crashed against the vessel. Lightning split the sky, and amidst the chaos, a young prince was thrown into the sea. Soraya rushed to save him. She dragged him through the raging waters and carried him safely to shore. As dawn approached, Soraya slipped back into the ocean, but before she disappeared, the prince began to stir. His eyes never fully opened. His memories remained blurred by the storm. Yet, through the darkness, he heard a voice, soft, beautiful. A voice unlike anything he had ever heard before. A woman's voice, the voice of the one who had saved his life. By the time he opened his eyes, she was already gone. Only the sound of her song remained. Desperate to see the prince again, Soraya sought out the most feared mermaid in the ocean, a sea witch named Morgana. Many believed Morgana could steal memories. Others claimed she could steal souls. No one knew which stories were true, only that every bargain came with a price. Deep within her cavern of black coral, Morgana listened to Soraya's request. Then she smiled. If you wish to walk among humans, she whispered, you must surrender your voice. The choice was painful, but love clouded Soraya's judgment, and so she agreed. When Soraya awoke, her tail was gone. In its place were human legs. She had become the very thing she dreamed of, but her voice had vanished. No matter how hard she tried, she could not speak. Still, she believed the sacrifice would be worth it, because now she could finally be with Prince Arkin. Prince Arkin found her wandering near the cliffs. Though she could not explain who she was, the prince welcomed her into his castle. He offered her food, shelter, and kindness. Each day they spent together, Soraya's feelings grew stronger. She believed destiny had finally brought them together. For the first time, she allowed herself to hope. Then one day, a mysterious woman arrived at the kingdom. The moment she spoke, Soraya froze. The voice belonged to her, her stolen voice. The woman was Morgana, disguised as a human. Using the very voice, Soraya had surrendered. For a brief moment, Morgana glanced toward her and smiled. Then she turned back to the prince. I was the one who saved you that night, she said softly. Prince Arkin's eyes widened. The voice, he whispered. The voice I've searched for all this time. Soraya froze. She wanted to scream, to tell him the truth, to tell him that she had been the one who pulled him from the sea, that it had been her voice. He heard on the shore, but no sound escaped her lips. Prince Arkin became captivated by Morgana. He spent more time with her each day. He listened to her stories, admired her beauty, and hung on every word she spoke. Soon, the kingdom celebrated shocking news. The prince intended to marry her. Soraya's heart shattered. She believed Morgana had stolen everything. Her voice, her dream, and the man she loved. At first, Morgana seemed pleased with her victory, but soon, something began to trouble her. Prince Arkin asked unusual questions. Questions about mermaids, sirens, sea creatures, ancient legends hidden beneath the waves. Questions no ordinary man should know. Several servants claimed they saw Morgana wandering the castle at night, entering halls she had never visited before searching for something. Some even swore they saw her standing beside the prince's bed, watching him sleep, smiling. No one knew why. One evening, Morgana discovered a hidden compartment beneath the prince's desk. Inside were dozens of drawings, detailed sketches of mermaids, sea serpents, sirens, creatures rarely seen by human eyes. Some drawings showed wounds, others showed chains. That same night, she followed Prince Arkin through the castle, down narrow staircases, past forgotten corridors, deep beneath the earth. There she found an enormous iron door, and behind it, a nightmare. The chamber stretched farther than she could see. Its walls were lined with relics from the sea, ancient coral crowns, broken tridents, preserved scales, and countless bones. Not human bones, bones belonging to creatures of the ocean, creatures that had never returned home. Then Morgana noticed the portraits, dozens of them, generations of princes, each standing beside a different sea creature, each holding a hunting spear, each smiling proudly. This was not Prince Arkin's secret, it was his family's legacy. For generations, they had hunted the ocean's most mysterious beings, collecting them, displaying them, keeping them forever. Horrified, Morgana turned to flee, but a voice stopped her. You were never supposed to see this. Prince Arkin stood in the doorway, smiling, not with affection, not with kindness, but with satisfaction, the smile of a hunter who had finally trapped his prey. Suddenly, everything made sense. The questions, the attention, the courtship. He had known exactly what she was, and now, he intended to add her to his collection. Morgana unleashed her magic, the chamber shook, the walls trembled. But iron chains hidden throughout the room sprang to life, designed specifically for creatures like her. The prince had prepared for this moment. For years, the iron door slammed shut. Morgana's scream echoed through the darkness, then silence, and no one ever saw her again. Heartbroken, Soraya left the kingdom behind. She returned to the ocean she had once abandoned. She never saw Morgana again, and for the rest of her life, she believed the witch had stolen her happiness. She never learned the truth, never discovered what Prince Arkan truly was, and never realized how close she had come to becoming his next victim. Prince Arkan vanished as well. Some believed he had gone hunting. Others claimed he had been dragged into the sea. No body was ever found. No explanation was ever given. Only rumors remained, rumors carried by the waves. Years passed, then decades. Soon, sailors began telling strange stories. Stories of a beautiful young woman who sat silently upon the rocks, watching the sea, waiting. She never sang, for she no longer had a voice. Yet sailors followed her anyway, drawn by her beauty. Captivated by the sadness in her eyes, they sailed closer and closer, until their ships struck hidden reefs and vanished beneath the waves. To this day, the ocean keeps its secrets. No one knows what became of Prince Arkan. No one knows whether Morgana ever escaped. But sailors still fear the silent girl beneath the sea, because she does not call to them. She does not sing. She simply watches, and they follow her, just as she once followed her heart, and the sea keeps them forever. The end.